Oh my God, the river that leads out into Lake Michigan. Good morning, everyone from Lake Forest, Illinois. I'm currently in the Chicago suburbs, stayed overnight with family, and now we are off to Chicago for today and tomorrow. 48 hours in Chicago. Let's do this. All right, so I have just gotten off the train and now off to Wrigley Field. Of course, that has to be my first stop in Chicago. One thing that I took notice of when I was on the train was the wealth disparity among Chicago. Look at the parks like Highland Park, Lake Forest, and the immense wealth that was there compared to as you start to move more and more into the city. And then, of course, within Chicago itself, especially right now, I'm taking a sociology class on issues like this with housing discrimination. So it's really interesting to see that now in multiple cities, first person.
And as I'm walking, I could smell popcorn from more than a block away. Sure enough, it's Chicago's famous Nuts on Clark. This is their main warehouse where it's just popcorn and nuts throughout the whole store. I want to buy a bucket of this famous popcorn, but I just didn't have a way to carry it around. I tried some free samples, and from the crunchy kettle corn to the classic butter, oh my God, everything in between, it was phenomenal. It really is just a popcorn lover's paradise. Look at this window.
Today's starting to be tough. My left foot hurts, my right leg hurts. I did about 40,000 steps in Milwaukee yesterday. I don't know how I'm going to get through these next 3 days. My body's killing me right now, but we just got to push through.
And here it is. We have arrived at the very beginning of Wrigleyville. Just strings and strings of restaurants and bars leading up to the ballpark.
We got the famous Wrigleyville dogs right behind me. And kind of just exploring, you know. It's going to be unfair to judge how Wrigleyville is because it's 10 a.m. in the off season, but still get the vibe. I can sense what it's like on a game day. Oh my God, so electric. I wish Citi Field had something like this. It's currently 10:15 in the morning and I'm at Raising Cane's. Yeah, I saw it and I had to try it. This was $8. 3 chicken fingers and toast. It better be good.
So I'm doing an emergency voiceover here because of copyright of the background music of this video. But oh my God, this Raising Cane's was amazing. I kind of spilt it everywhere, but that cane sauce and just the chicken batter, the blend of the spices. Oh my God, Raising Cane's, you are so good.
Just had my Raising Cane's and look what is behind me. Wow. Wrigleyville on game day surely seems like it goes crazy. I'm now on the backside of Wrigley, and the fact that the stadium was built in 1914, over 100 years ago, and the Cubs only have one World Series title as a member of this building. It's crazy to think about. And it's so historic. Here in Fenway are the two historic stadiums in the MLB. Here's something absolutely crazy is you have the right field gate into Wrigley here, and you have homes right here. And on top of those homes, yeah, they built bleachers on top of the homes that you can buy tickets for, which you can see across the street over and into the stadium. It's wild. I don't think this is supposed to be the case. We're just at the street, and I just found an open gate where you seemingly could just walk on to the field right now.
Oh, and of course I had to stop at the team store quickly, check out a little section of the museum. Bye, Wrigley. Time to go to actual downtown Chicago now.
Also, check this out, what I just stumbled upon. Lake Michigan and the beach. Wow.
And as we continue along the lake, We start to get into the downtown area, and what a beautiful skyline it is. Surely this isn't the Windy City for nothing. Look at how rough the water is. Of course I gotta touch it.
Yeah, this is an absolutely incredible view. City right behind me. Oh my God. And Lake Michigan. It really doesn't get better like this.
As I'm finally entering the city, I notice just how much it is like New York. Busy streets, scraping skyscrapers, but one thing that differs is the absolutely unique and wonderful architecture.
This feels like a real major city. I mean, it's giving me such New York vibes right now. I was just in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee felt very small, felt like nothing was going on even in the middle of the day. And now we're 1 p.m. in the middle of the day. The city's so vibrant. I love it. Really such an amazing city. All the skyscrapers, the skyline behind me, and oh my God, the river that leads out into Lake Michigan. How beautiful is this? It really is such a spectacular city. It's so cool to be in Chicago on St. Patrick's Day, where they literally dye the Chicago River that's right behind me bright green. Look at videos if you haven't seen it. Wow, that's a cool sight. Really cool with the architecture. It looks like one building, but in reality this is about 7 different buildings, 8 different buildings, all in front or behind each other. Wow.
And now Millennium Park. We got the Bean.
Look at that, how you're able to see the buildings off of it and the trees. That's what makes it such a cool attraction here in Chicago. But now it's been a half hour, nearly 40 minutes, since I have started looking for a place to get a deep dish slice. If you're going to talk about how much your pizza rivals New York, then why is there no place anywhere in the entire city for me to get a slice of pizza? This is utterly ridiculous. No, I'm annoyed about it, Chicago. One of the things though that's really bothering me is the lack of street vendors. Like, where are my hot dog guys? Where are the people on the street selling churros? I haven't seen any of that. Today I was wondering, where are the street performers? Where are the street vendors? And now that it's starting to be 5 o'clock, they're starting to come out. So Chicago is already so lively. People are walking everywhere. Streets were always busy. But now, as you start to get towards nighttime, seeing a little bit more out of the city in terms of nightlife. So I'm coming back now on the train to Lake Forest, Illinois, where I'm staying with family. Very easy train ride back, about an hour on the commuter line. And overall, very fun. Good morning, everyone. We are heading back to Chicago for day 2. And we're going to explore some more. And then tonight, we got the big 10.5-hour overnight train ride from Chicago to Memphis. Look what is right behind me. We got Soldier Field right here. Man, I love coming to the stadiums of different sports teams when I get to a city. I've been to Wrigley Field. I've been to Soldier Field. I've been to neither of them for a game. But something about being on the outside there, maybe walking around the gift shop, just seeing that the grounds that it's on, it still gives you a feel for the sports team. I'm wearing a Bears jacket right now, very fitting. And yeah, it's just something I love to do. Check out this fountain. Oh my God. Buckingham fountain. Skyline in the background. Water spouting out on both sides. You got some creatures with the water spouting out. And wow, this thing is beautiful. Architecture of the buildings in the city is incredible. But wow, the fountain, yeah, it hits on that too. I'm so excited by a fountain. Look, it's sprouting out from the top now, and it's like mist is coming down and the water's hitting me. Wait, this is actually so cool. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by it. Safe to say that I conquered the city in 48 hours. I've done everything from Michigan Avenue to Chicago River, Lincoln Park, Wrigleyville, saw Wrigley Field, Soldier Field, went down towards Union Station, went into Evanston, Illinois for a little bit, saw Northwestern. I mean, you name it in Chicago, I pretty much saw it. The Bean, of course, and like seeing the architecture. Yeah, there's nothing really else more for me to do. I'm actually disappointed to be leaving Chicago. These 48 hours were incredible. Chicago very well may have jumped to my favorite American city that's not New York. Just the similarities between the two cities are insane, and I think that's why I love this city as much as I do. I saw all of Chicago in 2 days, but a third day would have been nice, just to kind of go through it one more time at a more relaxed pace instead of speed running, which I tend to do a lot. Which, don't get me wrong, I think speed running a city is the best way to do it, at least for me. I know everyone's different, but one day just to be able to maybe take a boat down the river, that could have been enjoyable.